Jack visits his grandma's house for the first time. Jack has bad ideas about his grandma's house. First, Jack takes pictures of the house. Then he photographs the whole neighborhood. Finally, Jack does something without asking his grandma. He puts the house up for sale online. Grandma says, "Who's there?" When Grandma catches him, Jack says, "I just missed you." Grandma says, "Your two uncles visited me today too." Jack says, "Really?" Grandma says, "Why are you all visiting me now? Family members who rarely visit all year now come one after another just because I'm sick." Grandma knows very well they only want her money, but even so she still lets Jack in inside. Jack takes out packed beef noodles. He thinks Grandma from Chaozhou must love this. Grandma says, "I pray to Guanyin. I don't eat beef." Jack doesn't know. Grandma hasn't eaten beef for decades. But Jack keeps trying. Seeing Grandma make tea for worship, Jack wants to help. Jack says, "Let me do it." But to save time, he heats the water in a microwave. When Grandma sees this, Jack says it's faster this way, and saves gas. But Grandma thinks Jack isn't really helping. He's just pretending. Jack says, "Tea is tea. The gods won't care if the water's boiled." Grandma says, "Don't do things just to do them." Jack says, "Can I come boil water for you tomorrow?" Grandma says, "Just go. Just go." Jack says, "I'll boil 2 pots of water tomorrow." Grandma says, "Don't bother coming. You never visit me anyway." Grandma would rather stay lonely than accept this fake kindness. Before visiting Grandma, Jack was sure he'd get her inheritance because at Grandpa's funeral recently, he saw something unbelievable. His cousin, Tom, got Grandpa's mansion worth millions, but Jack, as the eldest grandson, only got a simple silver necklace. Then Jack suddenly understood everything. Tom had quit his good job to take care of Grandpa full-time. He did all the dirty work without complaining. This wasn't just being filial, it was a smart investment. Jack used to think Tom was foolish for giving up his career to care for a dying old man. Now Jack realizes Tom was actually the clever one. He knew how the game worked. Old people need company and care. Whoever gives them, that gets the biggest reward. 1 year of care earned Tom millions. What an amazing return on investment. Jack is completely impressed. At the same time, a shameful idea comes to him. Grandma was just diagnosed with a terminal illness. Doctors say she has less than a year to live. Jack happens to be jobless now, so he decides to copy Tom's money-making plan. Jack sets his eyes on his grandma's old house worth millions. But on his first visit, Jack is too eager and quickly gives himself away. Before he can even start his plan, his grandma kicks him out right away. That night, Jack goes to his cousin, Tom, for advice. Jack asks the question he's most curious about. Jack says, "You're just a grandson. How did you become Grandpa's main heir? Do you know what old people want but can never get from their family?" Tom says, "Time, Jack." Jack says, "But I spent a whole day with her." Tom says, "When you visited Grandma, did you notice any strange smell?" Jack says, "Old people just smell like that." Tom says, "That means you didn't stay long enough. You have to stay until you don't notice it anymore. I even got used to Grandpa's urine smell." Tom's words opened Jack's eyes. He thought helping Grandma boil water and chatting with her was enough. Now he understands. Old people have been lonely their whole lives. They don't want fake kindness. Real companionship isn't just visiting sometimes or pretending to care. It's staying day after day until you're part of their life. The next day, he packs his bags and even sells his favorite computer. Jack says, "I'll take you back when I get the money." Then he moves into Grandma's house. Jack uses the money to buy Grandma lots of gifts. He also gives her a red envelope saying it's for her. But Grandma isn't fooled. She knows what kind of person her grandson is. She understands it well. Grandma asks, "What's the real reason you keep coming here? If I were fine, you wouldn't need to come." Facing Grandma's doubts, Jack knows hiding the truth is pointless. Now Jack tells Grandma about her illness. Jack says, "You have cancer, but Mom and my uncles didn't want you to know." Grandma asks, "Is it serious?" Jack says stage 4. The doctor says you have 1 year left, but you don't have to listen to him, okay? Doctors act like they know everything. Remember Aunt Yen at the end of the street? Jack says, "The doctor gave her 6 months. That was 10 years ago. She's still running around in her 5-story house. When I lived here as a kid, you took care of me for years. Now it's my turn to take care of you. I want to spend more time with you, Grandma." Grandma knows the truth deep down. She senses Jack has another reason for being here. But with little time left, she still lets him stay. What scares her most isn't death itself, but dying alone with no one by her side. Grandma says, "Then this money can cover the bills." Jack is thrilled he gets to stay. He's so happy. Jack asks, "Grandma, What time do we wake up to sell porridge tomorrow? Grandma says, 5 in the morning. Jack says what? Grandma repeats, 5 in the morning. Jack asks, why so early? Grandma says, you think people buy porridge at noon. The next morning arrives quickly. Jack's alarm rings again and again, but he keeps hitting snooze. When he finally gets up and rushes to Grandma's stall, she's already packing up. Jack can only help her pack and go home. On their way back, Grandma meets her old friend. Her friend just came back from the hospital yesterday. The friend says, I have it too. Grandma asks where. The friend answers, in my intestines. Grandma asks, what stage? The friend answers, stage 4. Grandma says, me too. Though both have late-stage cancer, their conversation remains lighthearted. At their age, they've already accepted life and death. Grandma says, being sick is just being sick. There's nothing to hide, and nothing to avoid talking about. After talking with her friend, Grandma goes to the bank. Every few weeks, she comes to deposit money. It's all her hard-earned porridge money, saved bit by bit. Jack wants to go with her, but she says no, she doesn't want him seeing her password. A few mornings later, Jack's mom comes to visit. She immediately complains about the fridge full of expired food, but Grandma never throws anything away. Even if you throw it out, I'll dig it back. Their arguing wakes Jack up. Then he notices something surprising. Grandma is wearing nice clothes for once. Jack asks, Grandma, why are you dressed so nicely? Grandma says, pretty. Jack says, why didn't you button the last button? Are you trying to look sexy? Grandma says, stop it, I don't need to. It's too tight, I don't like it. Then Grandma changes into a pair of red shoes. They clearly don't fit her, but she insists on wearing them. All these strange things Grandma does make Jack feel confused. Jack says, why are you dressed so nicely today? Mother says, it's Sunday. Everyone is coming. Only you never come. Now Jack understands. It's their weekly family gathering day. Besides Jack's mother, Grandma's 2 sons will also come. Grandma always wears her nice flower shirt and those red shoes. At dawn she sits by the door early staring at the road nonstop. The one in white shirt is her eldest son, Mike. Mike is successful. He has a car and house. The one in checkered shirt is her second son, Tom. Tom is addicted to gambling. He owes lots of money. Every time they visit, Grandma is very happy. This time is no different. Grandma even takes out her savings and suggests playing cards after dinner. But they all say they don't have time. Grandma looks disappointed. Then Grandma tells everyone she knows about her illness. She says she won't be a burden to them. She has her own money. She will go to the hospital herself. This is how many elderly people feel. They don't want to burden their children. They just want to leave with dignity in their final days. But when money is mentioned, the 3 siblings start arguing again. Mike blames Tom for being lazy and not working. Tom argues that he looks for jobs every day, but nothing fits. Jack's mother is stuck in the middle, feeling helpless. This is exactly what Grandma didn't want to see. She worked hard to raise them, to give them a life, but now she's the reason for their fights. Just then Mike's daughter seems to understand something. She gently pats Grandma's head, just like Grandma used to do for her. She says, when I grow up, I'll study medicine and make Grandma better. The little girl's words warm Grandma's heart instantly. Only the little girl thinks about curing Grandma's illness, not about anything else. This pure love, this simple care is what Grandma needs most, maybe inspired by her granddaughter. Everyone starts speaking up. Mike says, it's okay, Mom. My friend knows a doctor who treats important people. I'll pay for the treatment. You'll get better. Don't worry. Jack's mother says, I'll take you to the hospital. Don't worry. It's my duty, Mom. The second son says, Mom, I just used the bathroom and the floor is slippery. I'll install a handrail for you to hold on to. Okay, this is what Grandma really wants. Her children gather around, saying caring words. Though she knows these promises may not all come true, but at least for now she truly feels needed and loved. But the uncle's sudden attention makes Jack feel very worried. He starts thinking about who will get Grandma's things after she's gone. The next day, his mother's decision confirms his fears. She changes her day shift to night shift at work. She says it's to take better care of Grandma. But Jack sees her as competition. Now Jack asks, what are you expecting? Mother asks, expecting what? My mom is sick. Don't you think I should care for her? Or people will say I'm ungrateful. Though she says it's for Grandma, Jack still thinks she has other reasons. Next day, while Mother swims with Grandma, Jack tells Grandma about the shift change. Don't worry, Grandma. Mom switched to night shift. She can take you to the doctor. Grandma says, I see. You changed shifts. What time do you finish work? Jack says morning. She works nights now. Grandma says, I see. So you haven't slept yet. I want to go up. I don't want to swim. Mother asks, why leave now? Can't you let me do something nice for you? Grandma says, every time you try to help me, you cause me trouble. Last time you quit school to help sell porridge. Mother asks, what did I do wrong? I don't want to lie around like Jack and Tom just watching you sell porridge all by yourself until your back and legs ache. Grandma says, and then what? Now you're working even harder than me. Mom says, if Mike brings you here, would you accept that? Fine, I'll talk to him for you. But who knows if he'll have time. Turns out back then Jack's mom dropped out of school just to help Grandma sell porridge. She lost her diploma because of it. In the end she got a job even harder than selling porridge. That's why Grandma doesn't want the same sacrifice to happen again, whether it's Jack's mom or her two sons. Grandma refuses to be a burden to them. So the job of taking Grandma to chemo falls on Jack. But Jack knows nothing about the process. He asks his cousin for help while Grandma is in chemo. His cousin waits outside and gives Jack more advice. Next time sit beside her, she says. It's your chance to score points. Back home, Grandma shows Jack where the money jar is. She tells him to put the leftover money inside. Now Grandma no longer distrusts Jack, but chemo makes her weaker. She can barely climb the stairs. Jack tries to help her, but Grandma refuses. She says, when you were little you held my hand, but your eyes were glued to the TV. You made me fall down the stairs. Jack says, I don't remember that. Grandma says, I'd rather crawl up by myself. Jack says, come on. Jack says, give me both hands. My cousin told me when helping you upstairs I should stand above you so you don't fall. Grandma says, are you sure? Jack says, I'm sure. Come on. This time Jack doesn't get distracted like when he was little. Instead, he carefully helps Grandma, step by step, back to her room. This room is where Jack lived as a child. Though he hasn't been here for years, the familiar decorations make him feel at home. Jack looks through Grandpa's photos. Grandma lies in bed, smiling at old memories. Grandma says, Jack was scared of ghosts as a boy. He always slept squeezed between her and Grandpa, and needed Grandma's lullaby to fall asleep. But now Grandpa is long gone. The memories feel so real. But Jack won't believe he feared ghosts. Grandma says, it's good you're not scared now, because Grandpa used to walk downstairs every night. If you see him, don't say anything. Jack knows Grandma's joking, but tonight he can't sleep at all. Jack wakes up startled. You scared me, Grandma asks. I thought you weren't afraid. Jack asks, what are you doing in the dark? Grandma answers, I'm praying. I dreamed of my parents. They said they'd take me home. Grandma whispers, Jack, I'm dying, aren't I? Jack sees Grandma's fear and weakness facing death. For the first time he truly feels it. Jack realizes death is so real and so close. Jack quickly stands up to comfort his grandma. Jack says, please, Grandma. You've prayed to the gods. You haven't eaten beef for decades. You've saved so many cows. You won't die so easily. Trust me. Hearing Jack's words, the fear in Grandma's eyes slowly fades. At this moment, Jack suddenly realizes Grandma is truly lonely. She really needs company. Grandma says, I need to go upstairs to sleep. Jack says, don't trouble yourself. Going upstairs is too hard. Just sleep here with me. Grandma thinks for a moment. Finally, she nods in agreement. Jack looks at Grandma. Tonight changes many things. Jack sees Grandma's weakness. He also feels her trust in him. Jack feels proud of taking care of Grandma. When comforting her, he also feels her warmth in return. For the first time, Jack feels caring for Grandma isn't just a duty. It's something he truly wants to do. Jack says, there's no space here. Can you move over a little? In the days that follow, Jack stays by Grandma's side. He helps her sell things. He takes her to the hospital. Unlike before now, Jack does everything with care. Grandma's health gets worse each day. Yesterday, she could still go downstairs. Today, she can't even walk down the stairs. Jack sees how weak his grandma is. Jack tells her, please don't go out to sell porridge anymore. Jack carefully helps her upstairs. Jack gently washes her body to prevent accidents. Jack installs a camera near the Buddha statue. Now, besides the Buddha and Jack, there's one more pair of eyes watching over Grandma. On this day, Tom suddenly comes home. He installs a handrail in Grandma's bathroom, saying it's for her safety. But Jack notices the handrail is loose and not sturdy at all. Tom's eyes then land on the pomegranate tree by the door. He reaches out to pick one, but Grandma stops him sharply. Grandma says, don't touch it. Tom says, I want it, I don't care. Grandma says, it's not yours. Tom says, why are you protecting them so much? Grandma says, because they're not yours. Tom says, what? You're saving them for your favorite son, Mike, right? Got any food? Clearly, he didn't come to care for Grandma. The handrail was just an excuse. His real goal was to ask for money. After finding some food in the house, Tom starts begging Grandma for money before leaving. Grandma can't refuse him. She finally takes out 1,000 yuan. Tom leaves satisfied. Grandma says, "This Tom, it's better if he doesn't visit me." Jack asks, "Why?" Grandma says, "If he doesn't come, it means he's doing fine." Deep down, Grandma knows Tom's problems. She also knows her love might be hurting him. Every time she gives him money, she's actually making him more dependent. But if she really stops helping him, she can't bear it. Jack notices the mixed feelings in Grandma's words about Uncle Tom. At the same time, a question pops into Jack's mind. Who is really the most important person to Grandma? To find out, he asks his cousin again. He wants to know how to become more important to Grandma than his uncles. His cousin says, "Can you rank yourself? Who does Grandma love the most now?" Jack says, "First place is either Uncle Mike or Uncle Tom. One plays the stock market, the other does nothing all day. As for me, I might be ahead of Mom now. But third place doesn't get you anything. How did you know you were already in first place? Did Grandpa tell you?" His cousin says, "Old people won't say it directly. You just feel it." Jack says, "I don't feel anything. I only feel her harsh words. Every single day," his cousin says. "Maybe it's when Grandpa told other relatives about me, saying I took good care of him." Jack doesn't fully understand what his cousin means. Meanwhile, his eldest uncle suddenly adds more pressure. He suggests taking Grandma to live with him. But Jack knows the truth. His uncle claims it's to take better care of her, but really he just wants to control her. This is the first time Grandma enters her eldest son's home. Compared to her old house, this place is fancy with all kinds of furniture, but it only makes Grandma uncomfortable. Mike says life here is very convenient. There are restaurants and hair salons. Nearby, there's even a senior citizens club. But Grandma doesn't look happy at all. She's worked hard her whole life. She's never enjoyed anything fancy. Now that she's old, this new lifestyle feels strange to her. It makes her uncomfortable. Mike says Grandma needs chemotherapy. It's hard to travel back and forth every day. I trade stocks from home so I can take care of her full time. But how will she sell her porridge? Customers already complain when she doesn't open on Sundays. Mike says he actually wants her to stop selling porridge. "I have money." Mike's wife says, "Stay here. I'll personally take her for chemo." Jack says, "But it's too far. Wouldn't she have to wake up at 2 a.m. then?" Uncle notices Jack's concern. He takes out some money, saying it's payment for taking care of Grandma. But Jack refuses to take it. He says he's not helping Grandma for money. Seeing Jack won't budge, Mike turns his attention to Grandma. After all, the final decision should be hers to make. Mike says, "Mom, I want to be your full-time son." Though Mike sounds sincere, Grandma still doesn't agree. Then they take Grandma to a temple to pray. But when they arrive, Jack notices Grandma's feet are red from her uncomfortable shoes. Yet she stubbornly refuses to change them. Jack recognizes them. Jack realizes these are the same shoes Grandma always insists on wearing for family dinners. Jack doesn't understand why. Grandma says, "When your Uncle Mike was little, we used to come here to pray. After praying, his shoes got stolen. I had to give him my shoes so he could walk home. The sunlight that day was as bright as today, and the ground was just as hot." Jack asks, "Did Uncle Mike buy these shoes for you?" Now Jack finally understands. Back then, Grandma gave her shoes to her eldest son and walked barefoot on the burning ground. Now she still suffers for him, just in a different way. She'd rather endure the pain than stop wearing the shoes he bought her. Jack understands this love, but knows he can never have it or surpass it. Not because he isn't good enough, but because it's a bond only between mother and son, a depth a grandchild can never reach. These shoes are the proof. Even if they hurt her feet, she keeps wearing them to stay connected to her son. This unconditional love isn't because her son did anything special. It's simply because he's her child. This love is natural, unearned, and irreplaceable. After praying, Jack reads the wishes of Uncle Mike's family, but no one wrote a single blessing for Grandma. Jack says, "No one made a wish for you. I don't think Uncle Mike truly wants you to live with him. He's just planting seeds, hoping for a future reward," Grandma says. Mike has his own family. He must think about them first. Grandma seems to be defending her eldest son, but she's really making excuses for herself too. She's trying to comfort herself. Mike didn't make a wish for her, because he needs to care for his own family first. But then Jack says something. It leaves Grandma speechless. Jack asks, "Grandma, aren't you his family too?" Jack walks away angrily. Grandma stands there frozen. She suddenly realizes she always makes excuses for people who don't care about her, but without noticing she ignores the one who truly cares. Jack stays with her every day. He takes care of her, but because of family bias, she keeps choosing not to see it. Grandma looks at the wish lists again. Her own list is full of family members' names, but Jack's list has just one simple line: I wish Grandma good health. Now Grandma starts thinking differently about all her relationships. She slowly understands she shouldn't treat people differently just because of blood ties. She should see who truly cares for her. Jack is just her grandson, but he gives her the most genuine love. On the train ride home, Mike tells Grandma to pack her things. Tomorrow he'll arrange a car to pick her up. Grandma shows no expression, but she already knows her answer. After getting off, Grandma tells Jack her feet hurt for the first time. She asks to change her shoes, so Jack takes Grandma to the shoe store. While trying on shoes, Grandma can't hold back anymore. She asks the question that's been on her mind for a long time. Grandma says, "Are you also planting seeds, hoping for a harvest?" This sudden question catches Jack off guard. Jack says, I want to be your full-time grandson." Grandma says, "You're talking nonsense." Jack looks down and smiles. "You're the one talking nonsense." Jack says, "It's okay if you don't believe me. Which pair do you want to try next? Try one of each and see which one you like better." Even though Grandma scolds Jack for talking nonsense, his words touch her deeply. Unlike his older brother, Mike, who makes serious promises, Jack's words feel more real and more trustworthy. Mike offers her the best conditions and material comforts, but that's not what Grandma truly wants. Jack gives her the freedom to choose and constant companionship. That's what Grandma truly desires. To Grandma, trying on shoes now feels like testing people's hearts. She's looking for shoes that fit well, and for someone who makes her feel comfortable and truly cares about her feelings. In the final stage of her life, Grandma finally decides not to force herself to meet others' expectations anymore. Instead, she chooses a way of life that makes her happy and comfortable. As her illness worsens, Grandma grows weaker. Her hair even starts falling out in clumps. Jack tries to cheer her up. He says he'll use special effects to make her look beautiful. Grandma smiles happily, but when Jack sees her silver hair falling on her clothes, he can't stop feeling sad. He knows there isn't much time left for Grandma. Because of the chemotherapy, Grandma has to shave off all her hair. From then on, Jack stays by her side almost every moment. He fears every day could be her last, so he cherishes every second with her even more. Sometimes they still argue, but the difference is Grandma no longer has the energy to argue. Back in their free time, they play cards together. Grandma says, "Back then during New Year's, there wasn't much to do. Everyone would gather and play cards." Jack asks, "Do you feel lonely? You've lived alone for so many years." Grandma says, "Lonely, I don't know. That's just how life is. But I don't like the second day of Lunar New Year. The fridge gets packed with leftovers, and I have to eat them all alone." At this moment, Jack finally understands Grandma's loneliness. On New Year's Day, everyone gathers, and it's lively. But on the second day, they all leave, leaving Grandma alone with a fridge full of leftovers, facing long empty days by herself. Loneliness isn't about having no one around. It's the emptiness after the joy fades. Grandma has lived through this cycle countless times. She looks forward to reunions, enjoys the short-lived happiness, then faces even deeper loneliness. At the same time, Jack realizes he has changed without noticing. He no longer cares about who gets the inheritance, nor does he care about his ranking in Grandma's heart. What he truly wants is to make sure Grandma isn't alone during her final days of suffering. Soon it's time for another family gathering. Grandma wears her pretty floral shirt again and waits by the door for her children. But Jack learns from a phone call that no one can come today. They're all busy. Right at this moment, Grandma notices the money in her piggy bank is gone. Jack quickly says he didn't take it, but Grandma still looks very suspicious. Luckily, there's CCTV. The footage shows it was Mike. He took the money when he came to install the handrail, and it was 200,000 baht. That money was all Grandma's hard-earned savings. Jack knows how hard she worked for it. Jack immediately goes to Mike's house to confront him. Jack yells, "You jerk, did you ever help Grandma sell porridge? She only makes 10 to 20 baht per bag. How many bags does she need to sell to make 200,000 baht? Don't you have any conscience?" Mike says, "Even Grandma never scolded me like this." After more questioning, Jack learns Mike lost over 1 million baht gambling. That's why he stole Grandma's money. Hearing this makes Jack feel awful, not because he feels sorry for Mike, but for Grandma. Now he understands why Grandma once said, "It's better if Mike doesn't visit me." Grandma knew about Mike's problems. She knew he only came when he needed something. But as a mother, she still can't say no. Before leaving, Jack takes out the silver belt his grandfather gave him before passing away. It should sell for a good price. Tom says, "Oh my God, this is great, come here. You're my lifesaver." Jack says, "Stay away longer this time." Jack truly hopes his uncle will stay far from Grandma and stop hurting her again and again. Back home, Jack lies to Grandma. To keep her from worrying, he says he didn't see his uncle and that he went to work in another city. Just then someone shouts at the door asking for the homeowner. A man in purple says he saw the house for sale online. Since the phone wasn't working, he came here instead. Grandma thinks he's a scammer and tries to send him away. "This house isn't for sale. Look at this, ma'am. He's Jack Tanapa." Grandma asks, "Is he the agent?" "I don't know him." Grandma suddenly feels disappointed. She never expected Jack's real reason for helping her was still about the house. She thought Jack was different from her sons, but now she sees they're all the same, only caring about her money. But Grandma doesn't mention it. Instead, she gives Jack a white shirt to wear. She bought it just for him, saying he should wear it to find a job. Grandma says, "After my third treatment, I'll be fully recovered. Then you don't have to take care of me anymore." Jack asks, "Are you kicking me out?" Grandma says, "In first grade, you were the top student in your class. If you try, you can do anything you want, okay? Go find a proper job." But Jack refuses to leave. He says he's a failure. He takes off the shirt, then he slumps into a chair. Grandma walks outside and picks a pomegranate. The tree was planted when Jack was born. People say planting a pomegranate tree keeps a child healthy. Grandma says, "You once told me, if the tree bore fruit, I shouldn't give it to anyone else. Only you could eat them." Jack says, "I don't remember that." Jack is surprised. His childhood words stayed with Grandma all these years. She really saved the pomegranates just for him. No wonder when Uncle Mike tried to pick one, Grandma stopped him fiercely. Now Jack realizes how special he is to her, but he doesn't understand why she suddenly wants him to leave. Jack says, "Just let me stay a little longer. I'll leave after you recover." Grandma asks, "Can you take me somewhere tomorrow?" She takes Jack to a villa. It belongs to her brother. At first, the long-separated siblings seem close, but when he hears her request, his face darkens. Grandma wants to borrow 1 million baht to buy a nice burial plot for herself. Grandma says, "When Mom and Dad gave you the house, you sold it for millions. I never asked you for a single penny." Grandma's brother says, "Mom and Dad gave it to me, right? Don't you remember? You were there too." Grandma says, "But I was the one who cleaned up their mess. Why did I never get anything? Even when I was little, whatever Mom and Dad had, they only gave it to you. What about someone like me who cared for them? Why didn't I get even a penny?" Grandma's brother says, "They did the right thing. Even if they gave you money, it would end up in your worthless husband's pocket." Grandma says, "But that worthless husband was the one Mom and Dad chose for me." Grandma's brother says, "If you really want money, go ask your own children for it. Understand? As for me, I won't give you a single penny." Maybe this is Grandma's fate. Her parents decided who she married. They decided her life. But in the end, because she's a daughter, she gets nothing. Grandma feels heartbroken and sad. She calls Jack to leave, but as they reach the door, her brother tells her never to come back. He says they no longer share the same family name. At that moment, Grandma's heart breaks. She always believed family bonds were strong. She thought siblings cared for each other, but reality shatters her hopes. She suddenly feels like a failure. At her age, she still foolishly believed in family love. As they walk home, Jack asks, "Grandma, why do you need a fancy grave?" Grandma says, "A good grave brings luck and success to future generations, and people will praise the children for being filial." Jack says, "But I think Grandma's ideas are wrong." He believes there's nothing after death, even if the family becomes rich and successful. What does it matter to her? Grandma says, "If, after I die, you carelessly visit my grave, I'll come back to scold you." Jack says, "Good, come then, I hope you do, on Xingming Festival. You won't even know who came or not. Uncle Mike might hire someone to perform rituals. I might just search your grave on Google Maps and pay respects to the screen." Grandma says, "But if I have a nice grave, maybe you'll actually want to visit." For Grandma, the meaning of life isn't just about living but being remembered after death. If she's forgotten with no one to honor her and her name fades away, that's scarier than death itself. Grandma thinks a proper grave might prove her life had meaning, that she was worth remembering. It might be vanity, but it's her last dignity. Soon after, at a checkup, The doctor says her illness has worsened. Even chemo won't help. Now the end is near. Leaving the doctor's office, Jack tries to comfort Grandma. Jack says she's doing much better now. But seeing her daughter's red, teary eyes, Grandma understands everything instantly. Grandma says, the rice is already cooked. There's no going back now. Grandma uses this saying to show she's accepted reality. Just like rice turns into porridge and can't become rice again. She knows her illness won't get better. That night, Jack wakes up to Grandma's painful moans. Grandma calls, Mom, Dad, please take me away. I'm in so much pain. Grandpa, Grandma, where are you? I want to die. I don't want to live anymore. Without thinking, Jack rushes Grandma to the hospital. The eldest son arrives the next day, but he doesn't ask about her condition. Instead, he pulls Jack's mom aside. He asks, where's Grandma's house deed? Jack's mom says, Mom's still alive. Why are you asking this now? The son says, someone has to handle it eventually, right? It's easier to deal with now than later. Jack's mom asks, did your wife put you up to this? The son says, see, this is why I don't want to be part of this family. Why do you all treat my wife like she's not family? Where's the deed? In Mom's closet at home. Learning where the deed is, the eldest son turns and leaves without another word. But what surprises everyone is, after the uncle leaves, Jack's mom turns around, but she gives the deed to the gambling-addicted second uncle. It turns out Grandma had already made her decision. She finally leaves her property to her debt-ridden second son. Jack watches as second uncle happily walks away with the deed. Jack's mind goes completely blank. He took care of Grandma for so long, but in the end he gets nothing. Meanwhile, that lazy, irresponsible second uncle easily gets Grandma's house. Jack feels a strong sense of failure. He suddenly realizes he was just an outsider all along. He's only Grandma's grandson, not her son. No matter how hard he tries, how much he cares, he can never cross the bloodline barrier. The more he thinks, the angrier he gets when his mother goes to pay the bills. He finally confronts Grandma directly. Jack says, didn't you say caregivers get paid? Grandma says, I have nothing left to give you. You don't need to take care of me anymore. Jack says, haven't I taken good care of you? Grandma says, you've taken very good care of me. Exceptionally good. Jack says, then why wasn't I first in line? Where do I rank? Where did you put me? Answer me. Answer me, Grandma. You're such a fool. You love the wrong person. Jack angrily turns and leaves. Grandma is left alone, crying in Grandma's heart. Jack has given her the most precious warmth and companionship. But she also knows, the one who really needs that house is the second son. The eldest son has money, a house, and a career, but the second son owes over $1 million in gambling debts. Without this house, he might have nowhere to turn. Even if he's unreliable, even if he keeps disappointing her, he's still her son. From this day on, Jack moves back to his own home. He goes back to playing video games all day, but he still wakes up early. Out of habit, he also helps his mom with chores without thinking. One day his mom tells him that Uncle Tom has sold the house. Grandma has been sent to a nursing home. She wants Jack to go and help pack up the things inside. But Jack coldly says, throw everything away. His mom asks, what's wrong? You sound just like Uncle Mike. He even says, even if Grandma dies, I won't go to her funeral. His mom says, not getting the house is actually a good thing. Giving feels much better than receiving. Jack says, are you just trying to make yourself feel better? Didn't you want the house too? His mom says, when did I ever want it? Jack says, then why did you keep switching shifts to visit Grandma? His mom says, because I missed her. Jack's mom says, when you're not home, the house is too quiet. Jack asks, are you lonely? Jack's mom says, now I finally understand how Grandma felt when everyone moved away. Only now does Jack realize Jack's mother takes care of Grandma out of love and missing her, not for the house. She even understands Grandma's loneliness. She feels sorry for Grandma. But what about him? Because he didn't get the house, he doubts everyone's motives, even his own mother's. Jack feels very guilty. He suddenly feels better. He can't help thinking about Grandma. So he checks the camera at Grandma's house. He watches how Grandma has been these days. All he sees is loneliness. She eats alone. She sleeps alone. She sits in the empty room, doing nothing. Most of the time she sits by the door. She looks at the empty alley waiting for her children to visit. The only difference is Grandma learned to use phone filters for selfies. Seeing this, Jack starts to regret. He regrets leaving Grandma. He regrets saying those hurtful words. Seeing Grandma so lonely, Jack just wants to go back to her now to say he was wrong, to tell her he's still the grandson who wants to take care of her. So Jack goes to the nursing home. He sees Grandma again in a room with 3 others. Now Grandma is too weak to even sit up. She used to never button her top button. Now she needs help from nurses to do it. Grandma says, "Good, I can show off my sexy look." Jack says, "Grandma, come home with me. I'll cook porridge for you. Let's go home." Jack brings Grandma back to his home, along with the pomegranate tree that holds so many memories from Grandma's doorstep. With care from Jack and his mother, Grandma looks much healthier now. She can not only move around, but also helps Jack's mom with chores. Grandma clears expired food from the fridge. "You shouldn't eat expired food like I did. Cancer runs in families." Jack's mom says, "I know sons inherit property. Daughters inherit cancer." Actually, Jack's mom doesn't care about the inheritance. What really hurts her is Grandma's longtime favoritism toward her brother. Grandma says, "Jack always clings to me, asking who I love most. I don't know, but I only know I want to be with you the most." This is Grandma's true feeling. Old traditions trapped her for too long. She always thought sons mattered more. She gave love based on society's expectations. But now she understands love should come from true feelings. Soon it's New Year's reunion day. Uncle Mike visits with his family. But after his wife and daughter get out, Mike stubbornly stays in the car. He's still upset about the house issue. Jack walks over and taps the car window. Jack says, "Uncle Mike, do you know, Grandma once told me she loved eating beef most, but you were often sick as a child. She prayed to Guanyin to protect you, wishing you good health. The condition was that she would never eat beef again in her life." Only now does Uncle finally understand that Grandma never favored anyone. She just wanted every child to live a smooth life. Between one child who lived comfortably and another crushed by debt, she could only choose to help the weaker one. But when Uncle realizes this now, it's already too late. Now Grandma can barely even speak. Uncle says, "Mom, you're lucky to have a grandson who cares for you so much." That night Jack suddenly wakes from deep sleep. He seems to sense something. Jack rushes to Grandma's side. He holds her hand tightly. Then he softly hums the lullaby Grandma used to sing for him every night in childhood. It feels like just yesterday he was the little boy needing Grandma's lullabies. Now he's grown up, but Grandma has become so weak. Maybe this is life's cycle, from being cared for to learning to care, from receiving love to giving love. And so Grandma passes away. At the funeral, Jack wears the white shirt Grandma specially bought him. He also brings beef soup for Grandma. She gave up her favorite food for decades for her son. Now she's free, finally able to taste her beloved flavor again. Just then Jack gets a phone call. The caller says he has a bank deposit to handle. At first Jack thinks it's a scam. Until he gets home, from the little golden bag his grandma always talked about, he takes out her bank book. Turns out every time she went to the bank, she was saving for him. But Jack can't remember when this account was opened. So he calls the bank to ask. Suddenly a train rushes by. Jack turns his head without thinking. In that moment his memories flash back to a childhood afternoon. Grandma says, "All you do is play games. The bank is closing soon." Jack says, "Grandma, slow down." Grandma says, "I need to open an account. See, I'm saving money for you." Grandma says, "You got first place in class. I'll save money for you all year." Jack says, "Will you save until you die?" Jack says, "I want to save 1,000,000. Grandma says, "Oh my, are you cursing me? What do you need 1,000,000 baht for?" Jack says, "I want to buy you a new house, Grandma. Your house is too old." This is Grandma's love. In her simple way, she quietly loves Jack. For decades she saved this love, bit by bit in the bank, but she never told Jack. Later Jack withdraws the full 1,000,000. He uses it to buy the burial plot Grandma always wanted. Now, with Grandma's money, he fulfills her last wish. This is also Jack's way of loving her back. Their love finally comes full circle. On the day of Grandma's funeral, the hearse passes by Grandma's porridge stall. The hearse crosses the little bridge Grandma often walked on at each place. Jack gently taps the coffin to tell Grandma where they are, just like how Grandma showed him the world when she was alive. Now it's his turn to guide her on her final journey. He doesn't want Grandma to get lost. He doesn't want her to be scared. Jack wants her to know they're always in the places she knows best. Jack says, "Grandma, we've reached the house I bought for you. Grandma, you're number one in my heart." This late confession shows Jack has made peace with time. It redeems his regrets. It shows his final understanding of love. But this understanding took a long time to grow. At first Jack was very calculating. He wanted to copy his cousin's success. He planned to trade 1 year of care for $1,000,000 inheritance. This selfish thinking reflects how modern relationships often work. We often measure emotions by what we gain. We calculate family love like a business deal. But when Jack actually started caring for Grandma, his selfishness slowly disappeared. His calculations melted away through daily care. Real love changes who you are inside. It's not just an exchange. This change first let Jack see Grandma's deep loneliness. And her loneliness was very modern, surrounded by care, but feeling no real connection. Surrounded by family love, yet feeling deeply alone. After the New Year feast, the fridge full of leftovers shows another kind of sadness. The emptiness after the fun is more painful than constant loneliness. This deep loneliness makes Grandma obsessed with finding a good grave. She's not afraid of death, but the feeling of never truly existing. Grandma's love is full of puzzling contradictions. She stopped eating beef for decades for her eldest son, Mike, but left her house to her gambling younger son, Tom. As a daughter, she got nothing. Now, as a mother, she still leaves the house to her son. It looks like repeating old biases, but it's actually different. When young, she suffered from gender bias. Now she makes choices with motherly wisdom. She's not continuing unfairness, but fixing it in her own way. What's more touching is Time's Circle, the savings book kept for decades. The savings book kept for decades shows how Grandma spent her life answering young Jack's innocent promise when he said, "I'll buy you a new house." Decades later, it comes true in another way. This isn't just simple repetition, but love's eternal talk across time. Death here isn't the end, but a turning point. When Jack gently taps the coffin and softly guides Grandma's way, he's not just keeping her company, but redefining life's meaning. True death isn't when the heart stops, but when we're completely forgotten. True forever life isn't about the body, but living on in others' hearts. In a world that cares more about money and success, we can still choose to pay life's debts with the currency of the heart. Jack changes from a selfish investor to a true friend who stays by someone's side. This shows us a path to redemption. Even if it starts with selfish reasons, it can still end with real love.